All right, everybody, we are going to work with symmetry. We're actually going to do lots of works today with symmetry. Our math today is all about symmetry. So I'm going to write that word on the board for you. S-Y-M-M-E-T-R-Y. Symmetry. Okay? We have talked about this some in the past, but this will be a good review for some of you, a new lesson for some of you. We're going to talk about symmetry and specifically a line of symmetry. Line of symmetry. What does that even mean? What is symmetry? What makes something symmetrical? Do you know? Think about that a minute. Symmetry, or we talk about shape, or talk about something being symmetrical. What do we mean by that? What do we mean is that this is going to be something that is the same on both sides of that line of symmetry. So, for example, let's look at this shape. What shape is my paper? This is a rectangle. So let's see if we can find the line or lines, depending on the shape, of symmetry. If we were to fold this shape in half, this, and I'll draw it with a marker just so you can see, this is the line of symmetry. You can see how this shape is the same both above the line and below the line. What else could we do? What if we fold it this way? Can we create another line of symmetry? We did, because it is the same, it is symmetrical. One side of the dotted line is the same as the other side. It's symmetrical. Here's the line of symmetry. Are there any more? Could we fold it diagonally? Let's see. If we try to, if I try to fold it diagonally, it doesn't really want to work out to be very symmetrical this way. I don't think this one has a diagonal line of symmetry. Okay, so we're finished with this one. But what if I have a square? It's a square. Let's see if we can find the line of symmetry or lines of symmetry for the square. If I fold it in half, so I know that both sides are equal. Both sides are symmetrical. I'll draw the line just to show you. This is our line of symmetry right here. Our line of symmetry. It is the same. It's hard to see that purple on this paper, isn't it? Let me make it a little darker. Here we go. It is the same on both of these sides. It's the line of symmetry. Okay. Let's try it this way, just like we did our rectangle. Can we find another line of symmetry? Yes. This is the same top to bottom. Above and below the line of symmetry, this is the same. Same size, same shape, same dimensions, symmetrical. Are there any more lines of symmetry in our square? What if we fold this one diagonally? This works in a way that our rectangle did not. So when we open it up, it is the same on both sides of our dotted line, on both sides of our line of symmetry. Here's another line of symmetry. See, it makes the same triangle on both sides of our line of symmetry. So if it worked diagonally one way, I wonder if it will work diagonally the other way. Let's try. Okay. So here we made triangles. Going the other way. So how many lines of symmetry did we find for our square? We found 2 for our rectangle, but we found 1, 2, 3, 4 for our square, because even when you fold it this way, it works. We tried that with the rectangle, but we couldn't, it did not have a diagonal line of symmetry. When I tried to fold the corners over diagonally, see, it just didn't, that didn't work. I'll show you that line. So that line where I folded it was right there, but see, that's not the same. That's not symmetrical on each side. Okay. Now, here are your works. You have lots of works to do with symmetry. Here's our first one. This says, recognize the line of symmetry. Is the dotted line on each shape a line of symmetry? And you write yes or no. So you have to look at this sheet and look at where they have the dotted line and imagine in your mind folding that. If you can't quite picture it in your mind, you can even cut the shape out and fold it if you need to. Sometimes we can just visualize things. Sometimes we can just see it in our mind and know how that's going to work if we manipulate it. Sometimes we can't. It's more difficult. So if you need to cut the shape out and fold it, rotate it, manipulate it in some way, you can do that, okay? Step 1. Here's another word. This says alligator. It says here, I'm a living fossil and I have a powerful tail. Okay. Half of this is done for you. Your job, using your pencil, pen, marker, crayons, is to make the other side symmetrical. So, if he has 2 spots here, he needs to have 2 spots here. He's got an eye here. He needs an eye here. It needs to be like a mirror image. If he has a line, a little wrinkle here, that crease needs to come over here. Okay? Same thing with the teeth. He has 1 tooth up, 1 tooth down. Needs to be the same across the line of symmetry. That's your next work. Now you're going to decorate an Easter egg. Everyone has an Easter egg, a blank egg in their bin, okay? Your job is to come up with a design that is symmetrical, okay? Because the egg itself already has a line of symmetry, top to bottom. It also, this one is more of an ellipse. So this one actually has a line of symmetry bottom to top also. So across and top to bottom. Okay, so think about the line of symmetry being here and it being even. So this, here we have 1, 2 and a half on this side, 1, 2 and a half on this side, okay? This one, you can split it right down the middle. It has 2 dots on this side and 2 on this side. So this design is pretty symmetrical. You don't have to use this design. You come up with any design that you want, but you're gonna want a design that is symmetrical. So let's look at a couple of examples here. Okay. Let's say this is my egg. Okay. Let's say this is my egg. What if I wanted to draw like a flower over here and a heart up here and a smiley face down here, maybe another flower? Is this design symmetrical? It is not. It is not, because if we look at our line of symmetry, it's not the same on both sides. This side has a big flower, this side has a little flower and a smiley face and a heart. It's not the same. Okay, so now let's try it again. Let's try another one. Okay. Let's say I've got my little Easter egg here. Okay. Now, I could draw stripes. I could draw little circles. Let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I could even do a heart right in the middle and put one circle here, one circle here. Okay, let's see if this design is symmetrical. If we have our line of symmetry, now look. This side, 4 circles. This side, 4 circles. This side, exactly half a heart. This side, other half of the heart. This side, 1 circle. This side, 1 circle. So now our design is symmetrical. So you can decorate your Easter egg any way that you want, as long as it is symmetrical, okay? Take your Easter egg, draw any design on here that you want. It needs to be symmetrical. It needs to be the same. If you folded it in half, it would be the same on both sides. Now, final activity, final symmetrical activity. You have in a little baggie some shapes, some little foam shapes. I want you to find the line or lines of symmetry in these foam shapes and cut them along that line. You will have some shapes, tricky, in your bag that are not symmetrical, that do not have a line of symmetry. So, tricky, you have to watch out for those, because some of them will be like, gosh, any way I turn this, like I just don't see a line of symmetry in here. That's right, that's right. So some of them, like these two, will have a line of symmetry. So I would take my pair of scissors and I would go, choop. I would cut right here, because right here, right down the middle, I would cut right there, because that is a line of symmetry. Could I cut it in half like this? No, because these sides, these pieces would not match. I would have one piece that was like a little triangle and one piece that had like 2 humps. So that would not work. I would have to cut it this way. So you take your scissors and your little bag of foam pieces and you find the line of symmetry. The way that you'll know if you've done it correctly is if you cut right here. See, I could have folded them over and both sides were the same. If I cut along this line, see now both sides are the same. I have one, they don't line up. So if you cut it in half and you can lay your 2 pieces on top of each other and they match up, just like we can lay these 2 pieces on top of each other and they lined up, then you know you've done it correctly, okay? Excellent work. Okay, I cannot wait to see your eggs, your alligators, all the investigations that you're going to do with symmetry. There's lots of good projects in here, and you might find other things. Now that this is on your mind, probably as you're looking around, kind of, you know, once I've got symmetry on the brain, everything I look at, I'm like, oh, that's symmetrical. Oh, that's not. Oh, that could be divided this way. So, so start looking for those things around you, things that are symmetrical, things that aren't, where the lines of symmetry are. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.